Ryan Williams, 5-star plus wide receiver, thought he was going to be playing at Alabama underneath Nick Saban, and then the GOAT retires. So he decides to explore other options. But at the end of the day, you always go where the heart resides. And that, of course, is in Titletown because he is recommitted to Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb, and this Crimson Tide offense. What does this do for the future of Alabama? Is Williams making the right call? And what is the persona now around Kalen DeBoer and what he's able to do on the recruiting trail down in the SEC? Let's go ahead and discuss. But if you are new here, welcome on into the channel, people. My name is Cole Thompson. I'm a radio show host based in Houston, and I talk college football daily. I get it. The season's come to a close. We got to look ahead to 2024. But the offseason, it's our time to shine. College football fanatics everywhere, and I'm here to keep you entertained. We're going to recap 2023, a look ahead at 2024. Go ahead and answer any of the questions that you have during this time. So if this is the daily dose of college football content you need to survive the dreaded offseason, might I recommend that you smash that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment telling me your thoughts on Ryan Williams headed back to Titletown for 2024. Tell your friends, your family, your mortal enemies, best of bros, Crimson Tide faithful, and college football aficionados everywhere about this channel, because we're on the race to become the #1 YouTube show talking college football daily, and we're gonna get there. So why don't you join in while the water's fine? Follow me on social media at Mr. Cole Thompson, Twitter, X, Instagram. But that way, conversations surrounding our favorite sport never have to stop flowing. Okay, so Ryan Williams, 5-star plus wide receiver. What exactly does that mean? It means that every industry ranking believes that he is a 5-star talent. There's always going to be some separation between a couple of players. Maybe you have him as a 4-star. Maybe you have him as a 5-star. Maybe he's wide receiver 2 for you. He's wide receiver 6 for you. He's defensive lineman #1 for you. At the end of the day, this is a kid that everyone knows is special, elite speed, burner mentality. This is a guy that can go from 0 to 100 in about 5 seconds, and he can torch a defensive back to fortify an offense like no one's business. And he reclassified, was a member of the 2025 recruiting class, now going to re-enter in 2024. So he's a plug-and-play potential long-term option at wide receiver that's going to be a difference maker. And Kalen DeBoer gets him. He ends up landing a kid that is going to be special. There's a lot of, I would say, Jamison Williams to his game. When you look at the way that he's able to stretch the field vertically, come up with his size, you can't teach speed. You can teach ball skills, you can teach route running, you can teach breaking points. You can't teach speed and you can't teach size. And he's got the speed locked down to a T. This is a really big get for Alabama for a multitude of reasons. But let's start off with the main one. You lose a receiver in Isaiah Bond to the transfer portal. You don't really know what you have as the #1 mantra going into next season because Jermaine Burton's off to the NFL. You have to fortify your roster with proven commodities and up-and-comers. And you got the up-and-comer part figured out. Maybe he won't be a day one elite contributor, but season unfolds, you start moving down a little bit. He gets more comfortable with the offensive play calling. Guess what? Now we're talking about at the heart of the season, the point where you get to determine, are you a contender for the playoff or a pretender for the playoff? This is where a guy like Ryan Williams is able to step up. The other reason this is really important is because Kalen DeBoer is now stopping the bleeding. Everyone around Tuscaloosa right now feels like the sky is falling. It is a dark black epitome of no despair, and we have a hole in the size of our hearts that can only be filled by a Nick Saban-loved smile. That's what's going on in Titletown. As happy as they are with the hire of Kalen DeBoer, they also are seeing the names leave. Des Ricks is out. Isaiah Bond is out. Amari Niblack is out. Caleb Downs said, see you later. I'm out of here. And then you had players from the 2024 class that were enrolled on campus going through practice drills for the college football playoff out in Pasadena and Los Angeles, and they're gone. Julian saying, see you later. I'm going up to Ohio State with Caleb Downs. Now you're stopping the bleeding. Because when you land a 5-star talent, it not only shows you that you have the right direction in mind, but it also shows you that you have the right person at the helm. And so a guy like Kalen DeBoer, known for offensive consistency, known for being able to put up quality numbers on that side of the football, and really benefit from having exceptional wide receivers who do a great job of learning underneath his helm, they're in a good spot now. Now it feels like, well, Ryan Williams looked at everywhere, went back, entered the recruiting process, came back to Alabama and said, I like what's going on. I'm a fan of what Kalen DeBoer is preaching. I understand that these offensive concepts are going to benefit me. I think I'm going to recommit. I'm going to stick around here. And so everybody else that is looking at being a part of this recruiting class or looking for recruiting classes moving forward, well, Ryan Williams says it's good enough for him. Ryan Williams, a premier wide receiver, is very content playing for a Kalen DeBoer, playing in Ryan Grubb's offense, playing for this university. Why would I be any different? Why should I be any different? So automatically, the persona, it feels like you are now trending upward. The dark days are over, and now comes the positivity. It won't come overnight. Like the one thing that Alabama fans have to realize here, this is like getting the Hershey's Kiss on top of the entire chocolate bar. You eventually will get there, but it may take some time. You may have to start off with just a little piece and then work your way up to a small chocolate bar. And then you have to work your way up to the massive behemoth son of a bitch. That's what you have. But it's a piece. It's something trending in the right direction. And the good news as well, when you look at a place like Alabama that is supposed to be known now for its offensive identity, especially with Kalen DeBoer, guys work with quarterbacks. They've always come out stronger on the other side. Wide receivers, Rome Odunze just had the best season for a Husky pass catcher in program history. All of that. And Ryan Williams comes back in and he doesn't commit to your team. Well, now that sends a very negative connotation around this roster. Well, what's Kalen DeBoer doing that's so wrong? Why is there a reason he's coming back in, but he doesn't feel like a player who's ready to be a part of this team? And more importantly, who is going to get him? Is Auburn? Is LSU? Is Georgia? And those are teams that are now going to benefit from not having Saban around, to where the luxury tax that once was a huge blessing for the Crimson Tide no longer is a thing. But you didn't do that. Instead, Ryan Williams says, I'm here. I believe in this roster. I believe in the message that's coming. I know I can be special. And he can. If you look at what offenses are going to benefit a wide receiver, the number one option is Kalen DeBoer. Plain and simple. You look at the numbers during his time at Fresno State. You look at the numbers during his time when he was the OC at Indiana. You look at his numbers when he was at Washington. 1,000-yard receivers, 1,000-yard receivers, the 1K, the 1K, the 1K, wash, rinse, repeat. That was the Kalen DeBoer specialty. And now you got a 1,000-yard receiver in the making with Ryan Williams. This is monumental for Alabama when it comes to building for the future, because now you're going to stabilize the roster. Now you're going to be able to see people say, well, if Ryan Williams is going to the school, I want to go to the school. And morale's going to be at an all-time high. It is so easy for us as fans to feel like that our world is coming crashing down when negativity is the only thing being spewed out. And that's really the case for Alabama. As good as the hires have been, Ryan Grubb, Kane Womack, you also brought over Maurice Linguist, you brought over a multitude of other personnel members from Washington. You feel good about this roster in terms of coaches. But personnel-wise, you were a little hesitant. That hesitation is slowly breathing its exhale. You feel good. You feel like your team is trending in the right direction. There's a lot of upside moving forward for the Crimson Tide. And I'm not going to say there will be a threat in 2024, but with a guy like Ryan Williams, with what you know that you're bringing in at quarterback with Austin Mack, a guy who was handpicked by Kalen DeBoer, and when you also look at the intriguing upside of what the SEC provides for the future of college football playoffs, if you are an Alabama fan, the sky is not falling down. You do not need to worry about your world coming to an end. The black hole is not reaching for you to go into its dark dismay. It's all hit paused because you got a 5-star plus talent that is going to be the leader of the locker room. And if you haven't seen so far, Twitter is such a beautiful tool for any recruit out there because of every single player that so far has committed to Alabama since Ryan Williams. There's been 2. Who's the first person wishing them congratulations? Who's the first person showing up saying, hey, man, let's do something special? Everybody is seeing what Ryan Williams is doing for Kalen DeBoer. And now you got that as an extra recruiting hand. I think it's a big-time get. This is going to be monumental for the Crimson Tide for 2024 and beyond. But more importantly, it stops the banter about Kalen DeBoer can't do anything. The guy can recruit. It's very proven. And he just showed you that he can land a premier talent that is going to be a difference maker in the SEC the second he touches down in Tuscaloosa. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video. Don't hit the X button yet. Make sure you hit subscribe to keep up with all of our daily content found on Just Saying It and anything else that we post on this channel. Bye.